Hey everybody. Mm, This is basically me reading out my parts from the Wordsmiths Recital that I recently did. It's some poetry, some words I put together, and I did take a recording, but it didn't really come out so well, so I thought, why not record it separately and maybe put it out there? What purpose does this serve? Well, sometimes I want to listen to something and kind of relax, unwind a little bit. And it's hard time trying to find something that fits that bill. So, yeah, that's mostly why I want to do this, and I'm probably going to try and do it as often as I can about different things. So, this time around, I'll just read out to you what uh, I read at the Wordsmiths Recital. I will probably change it up a little bit on the go to suit your current listening state of mind and time and space, if you understand what I mean. So, 3, 2, 1. Let there be listening. Gentle ladies, men, the gendered, the ungendered, the untendered, the unrendered, the polarized, the populous, the islands, the gods, the nothings. This is a good evening. If we have not already caught wind of it, this is going to be a slow one. I'm here to read and speak to you a certain way, and I hope to ease you through your hearing devices. To begin, I should ask, when was the last time someone read something out to you and you just listened? Or how many of you have or had something akin to a radio and have a habit of listening to something for more than 7 minutes, maybe, without flipping out or be subject to an insane amount of advertising, happening virtually or otherwise, that is? Well, radios are dead, the world is young, everyone has a voice, and there's no voiceless. Words are unheard, they are unread, and we are here wondering why we feel so perpetually stung. So, now, you're given the much needed choice to unwind, forget what's behind. If you must sleep or doze off, you ought to do so. This is a quiet festival of words, and if this is unfamiliar to you, just sit back and allow words to do to you what it does. Absorb them, let it dwell, make a spell, rhyme the dream, time the gleam, and most of all, experience this for purely your experience of it. So, listening is training, but let's try. You're required to imagine that you're at home, a home you yearn for, a home you love, a home with a radio next to you. And through it, I speak to you and I speak and read to you a certain way. Unfortunately, there is no volume button on this radio in question, or well, a power off button either. So you can just have the free will enough to choose not to turn off that radio. Lean back if you must, but possibly onto something firm. Don't fall back. And if there are walls and gods and pillars around each of you, I don't suggest breaking it down tonight just because you're listening to this. I'm going to try and comfort you to sleep within it comfortably. But if you're willing to break it down or climb over it and take a peek, you're welcome to do that as well. Someone once said poetry is much like a dimple on your cheek. You do not remember the skeleton or the skin suit that wears it. You just keep getting drawn to the dimple and its folds and wrinkles. I read that and I thought, that's absolute bullshit. Who's been making stupid quotes with AI now? If you're still with us, let's keep listening. There's something to like if you do some words that you can carry with you. And a small disclaimer, pardon my pretty French at times, it's part of the package. So let's forget the need to objectify each other this evening and instead subjectify all that is ready to commence. Ready? So I'm at my cozy home now, and what you hear is just my phone making sounds. So I'm just gonna mute it, sort of, or at least get rid of it. But I'm reading off my phone, so there's that. Alright, so I have something I want to read out to you now. This one is called Untold to You, and this is how it reads. Hey you. Yes, you. I usually ask if you're okay, but this time I'll start by telling you, you are okay. You will be okay. You don't have to say or feel that today, but you're good. Really, that's alright. So hold on. Maybe, yeah, you can be better for yourself some days, but it doesn't have to be today. Give yourself time, because all you actually need to be is you. And it does not take much to see you, to see what you do, what you feel, what you want, how much you try, how tired you are when you're at your strongest, how strong you are when you're tired most. You're right, really. The world scale should not be reason to scrape away the scales on your skin. Maybe you're of a land unknown, and that is better reason to rejoice. Besides, it's a lie. Sometimes it's not how hard you should try, but to breathe long and tell yourself that you're you and you can be you. And remember to say that as many times as you must, that you're strong, because life isn't that long and you are strong most of the time. You are seen for your cosmic chaos and your galactic design. Your sadness and pain and its harnesses and pain. You're good for everything your ears yearn to hear. You're good with your very eyes with which you stare. It's alright if you kill dreams when you kill. It's alright if you kill dreams when you could not kill demons. It's alright. You just have to be you. I think somebody's dog has joined me in this recording. But it's probably not so loud, so I'm gonna keep going. Fleeting love, fleeing love, fighting life, lightful life, something, nothing, everything. Your story begs to be felt, you are to be felt, you are to be worded, painted, sung about, and yet you are to be unworded, unpainted, unsung about. And still you're good, just the way you are. You're good enough, just the way you are. You're okay, really. And on days you think you rot the most, you're still all the things that make you exquisite. So you do not have to flower. You do not have to chase a fruit. Be the plant and sway in the wind. Make still of that second when the sun touches your skin. Fall when fall comes, and be washed away when the rain pours. Or not at all. Nothing at all. Because you're going to be okay. You're going to be good. All you need to be is you, just the way you are. Is anybody still here? If you're asleep, keep sleeping. I'll keep slowly talking and reading out to you and make sure you get to deep sleep. If not, you enjoy what you're listening. This is Radio 3.3.3, and you're listening to Curiously Worded Feelings by Curious Seeming People. If you have just started listening, stay carefree, dreams need no ceiling, and carry a few words for that one day when you can't keep up with the spree. For those times when you feel like your skin is peeling. So I'm going to read another one now. This one's called For Her. The calm eye of a storm with a plan, she walks up to me and says, "My man." With the mad method of a methodical madness, I say, "Damn girl, here, take the hardness." Her who listens to me talk about space-time continuum, slip into catnap's theater in our condominiums, an amalgam of highness and overthinking pandemonium. Damaged as I may be, she sees stardust in my residuum. Her who blushes and braves just the same scarlet, annoyed by my habitual showing feelings under the carpet. Her, a recurring instance in my every existence, her who contains all my favorite rebellions and the stars a million and lives a zillion. Equibrain, cap-rising, girl you feel so freeing. Fall of the planet Earth, fly into another timeline, I'll still be in awe of you, my mama feline. The volcanoes in you, the mist in you, the venom in you, the fight in you, clearly I'm in awe of you. And your brand of voodoo, black goes with blue, every stat says it's true, that you make me go, ow. Alright, it's story time. This is an excerpt from Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 2. Ready? The great Julius Caesar was dead. Rome had to know. The world had to know. It was such a tragedy. But what was a bigger tragedy was that Brutus did not have a Twitter account, now known as X, and Mark Antony had no TikTok, which now knows as shit goes. If only he did, the world could have been spared from that famous speech that began with the Romans, friends, countrymen, or friends, Romans, countrymen. The speech which we don't really give a shit about, but pops up every now and then, like in a random recording you hear at night. But it was a great speech, even if you really cannot remember anything except their greeting and then maybe they're too brute. Had there been TikTok, the whole thing could have been reduced to, guys, incredible news. Julius Caesar is dead. I'm standing in front of his body, guys. Please subscribe and like for a different angle. But no, that was not how things worked in that time and age. The whole court had to walk their asses outside and give a speech to the entirety of Rome. The copywriters and the content writers of the court used to wake up and say, "Their fornication is this life, bro. There isn't even a Sunday off." And their dear and closed ones gently and comfortingly told them, "Shut your pompous mouth, you fool. Roman calendar has no Sundays. That is the Julian calendar, so get up and go to work." Their anger was justified, though. There was no diapers, no more mammy poco pants. They were sick of washing babies' cloth napkins day in and day out, and boy, did these Roman aristocrats make babies all over the place. Apparently even the gods came once in a while and make babies and leave. So that's what they did. Great emperors and their orators and whoever else there was wearing oversized loincloths draped across their body and calling it formals and royalty. They walked out and stood up high, sometimes on the balconies and sunshades of their palaces to give their speech. I don't know what that was about, or maybe it's not called sunshade and balconies back then, but, well, I don't know what it's called. The crowd had gathered and was quite noisy because Rome was facing several different problems already. Caesar's death was just a shit cherry on top of a shit ice cream. One of the issues obviously was unrealistic male body standards. those chiseled statues right in front of the face where everyone sat up in every nook and corner. Some of them didn't have half of their hands and legs, but they had serratus muscles and toned abs and salon quality hair and oh, I'm so good looking heir to it. But when in reality they were probably bald with pot bellies that was bigger than pots. Of course, people didn't take kindly to it. Back in those days, the way social media worked, people wrote their opinions on rocks and dry leaves and either showed it to each other or, if the opinion was strong enough, throw it at each other's head. Those who liked the opinion drew hearts on the back of this rock, those three-chamber hearts, not the um, reverse buttocks or the apple thing, the old bloody heart. Anyway, absolute circus. While Mark Antony was giving speech, everybody was throwing rocks at each other with their opinions on it. But there was no stopping Mark Antony, and he continued on his speech, and so did Brutus support him from behind, asking them to keep going. But this was around the same time that the famous assholeish Brutus decided to take a jab at Mark Antony. And so he was like, Mark, bro, you suck. You're not good at this shit. Sit your ass down and talk to yourself. That's a whole lot better. Mark held in his frustration, and that was very difficult because he was already holding in his pot belly. Brutus continued to take jabs at him. Shut your ass down, bro. Your wig is falling. I mean, you got the death of Julius Caesar in your content and you still can't make it viral. It was at this point that Mark Antony snapped. He said to Brutus, you shit of Thor Odinson. I'll show you what viral is. Bloody prude, named after a shitty supermarket perfume. Mark Antony then turned, screamed as if he was getting stabbed, and said, "Etsu, brute," as if Brutus had just stabbed him. Brutus loved it. It was an excellent curveball after all. So he said, "Damn, bro, that was a finest curveball. I hope it lands for your sake. Otherwise, when I'm king, I'm firing your ass." Little did they know, the joke did land. The crowd only saw and heard that, but not as a joke, especially because Mark Antony screamed so loud. They were simple humans, dumbed down by aristocracy, much like we are by bureaucracy, so they did what they did. They half understood everything and said, "Let's take up arms." The crowd concluded that Brutus betrayed Caesar, and that was what Mark Antony was saying. And then, ladies and gentlemen, shit hit the fan for Brutus. Except there was no fan. There were people employed to fan, and shit hit them. And did it go viral? Oh yeah, next thing you know, Brutus gets brutally cancelled. Mark Antony, however, bugger made a whole career out of that fumbled speech. Accidental luck, because when whatever he tried to say, people started reading into it another way and praised him for it. So, well, we can't blame him. He embraced it as best as he can. He's got a whole family to look after, so that's the career he got. The famous speech, the famous orator, Mark Antony. Anyway, there are people trying the same thing these days, but it's a whole different day and age. You can't even come up with something as clever as that. You will have to rely on something like the recent Kim Kardashian quote where she says, "Don't love your job, just job your love." Anyway, so that's mostly the parts of it that I just wanted to read out today. Maybe by now you have rested up, you feel a little calm. So anyway, let me know what you think. If you want to let me know, or don't let me know at all, maybe that's a better way to keep going. Because I don't exactly know if like I said, the point of it is just for you to kind of listen and maybe slightly be bored, maybe unwind and sleep. not listen at all, or just let it play and maybe have a little bit of a fun with it. So if any of that happened, that's good. I guess that's all I got for now. Maybe I'll do more of this on the go. I'll probably bring you more interesting stuff. This one was just a recap. So listen to me next time. I mean, I don't want to say see you next time. So yeah, listen to me next time if you can. That's it.